Bro, listen, sit down. Let's have a man to man fucking conversation. No edits popping up, none of that shit. You clicked this video because you're probably considering some type of a martial art. Personally, I picked Jiu-Jitsu. I'm about 7 months in. I'm constantly learning and evolving. I'm still a white belt, but I'm very sure anybody in the street I could fucking whoop his ass. Because when the street free trial people walk in, no matter what size or where they are, me and the people that started with me that are 6 months, 7 months in, we fucking whoop their ass. Now that I've given my street cred, let's now talk about how that affects your social life and your perception, right? One of the main things that happens when you start training some kind of a hand to hand unarmed combat consistently, even if you're getting beat the fuck up by people that are much better than you, like I do, I get my ass beat all the time. I'm constantly rolling with people that are probably 10 to 15 kgs heavier than me. I'm about 73 right now. I roll with guys that are 90 kilos. I roll with guys that are 85 kilos. I roll with judo black belts. Judo black belts are basically not white belts in jiu-jitsu, right? They're probably blue belts. They start off at blue belt skill level, right? When you're constantly doing that, you can be in your element and you can look yourself in the mirror with respect. You don't get that out of anything else. You don't get that out of a million fucking dollars. I'm an entrepreneur. I've seen millionaires who are fucking pussies, right? That primal instinct, I thought I lost it. I thought that lifting weights made me hard, right? But the issue with that was that it was getting so dynamic. I knew that your body can only get capped to a limit, right? I'm not saying I've reached my physical potential, but what I'm trying to say is that when you learn to fight, you can look yourself in the mirror with self-respect. I was actually sitting down to journal about all of these things, right? One of the primary things that I noticed was that you can sit across anyone in the world and you can be confident in yourself that as far as a physical altercation goes, there is no touching me. You could be richer, you could be more handsome, whatever the fuck you want. As far as a physical altercation goes, if you're untrained, like 99.99999% are, this is not going to be a competition, right? That is one thing. And this is not even me being cocky or me speaking about my situation. I'm talking about people in general who train. I'm only 7 months in. So my first jiu-jitsu session was with a guy who was probably 63 kilos, and back then I was 80 kilos, right? I've lost quite a bit of mass because of training jiu-jitsu really hard. I was benching 110 kgs, and to hold this 60 kilo guy down to the floor was so fucking hard. I could not believe how I could bench twice his body weight plus gravity, but holding him to the ground was so hard. Because when I was holding him, he was doing arm bars and triangles on me. Triangle choke. It's basically a type of choke where you're gasping for air as soon as you try to strangle him with your bare hands. So that's when I realized there's levels to this fucking shit. It can't be me just lifting weights. This is dynamic. I mean, like, it's just so static. I need something that I can look myself in the mirror and been like, no matter what challenge you throw at me, I'm ready, right? So as far as social situation goes, to look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that a hand-to-hand combat, maybe I can't handle it with everyone, but at least they can't kill me easily, is so comforting. If you can think to yourself that anywhere in the world you put me, hand to hand, it's hard to kill me. That's comforting, right? Second thing, if you're with your mother, if you're with your sister, if you're with your girlfriend, you're going out alone, you don't have that worry of what if that guy tests me? What if that guy says something to my girlfriend? You don't have that worry. You can enjoy the moment. You know, we all have that primal instinct. I thought it was just me, then my friends started opening about this as well. They get that confidence. You only get that through repeated hand to hand combat with people more competent than you. Even when you're getting beat up, you get that confidence because you're like, the regular guy on the street cannot fight at this level. Let me also tell you why I chose jiu-jitsu, right? The reason why I chose jiu-jitsu over anything else is because in boxing, so this is my theory, right? I could be completely wrong. In any street fight, if you pull a knife, a weapon, if you're surrounded by a group, people say that you can knock out two guys and run and shit like that. It's ridiculous. Don't even fucking try that shit. You're surrounded by guys, you can't do shit. Okay? It fails the test of anything. As far as a one-on-one competition goes, jiu-jitsu is the safest. Firstly, there is no luck involved. In jiu-jitsu, there's no fucking luck. In boxing, I could throw a lucky punch. You could get a lucky shot. I could, sucker punch you. You're not gonna have a defense for that. If a regular guy on the street sucker punches Javante Davis at his highest possible uh, speed, and the hardest punch he could throw, he might not get knocked out, but he would be rocked, right? In jiu-jitsu, you're not fucking doing that because there's no element of luck here. What can you get even lucky with? It's a system. It's a step-by-step process. The second thing is it makes it predictable, right? You know you have to pass the legs. You know you have to take a dominant position. You know you can either hold him right there and control his frames or choke him the fuck out. It's a very step-by-step sequential position, right? Sequential game here. That aside, I'm not even trying to get into street fights on my ops opposites. So my main thing was that it engages the brain, right? And if for the first 5-6 months I didn't realize this, but now I feel like I'm getting into the chess moves. I've learned the moves. I know how the elephant works. I know how the horse moves, and now I'm finally getting it, right? I wanted that for my business. And second thing, I wanted some kind of a hand-to-hand combat which was hard, that I could look myself in the mirror and I could tell myself that I'm facing reality, right? Now third thing, self-perception. Self-perception is arguably the most important thing that jiu-jitsu has given me, right? I can look myself in the mirror and tell myself that I don't need to go out there and fight someone every single week. I don't need to do this for survival or for income. My income comes from my businesses. But to look myself in the mirror like a man and tell what is the hardest thing you've done all week? Send outreach, record videos, talk to my team, make a few hard decisions over the phone. How soft. That compared to I rolled with a judo black belt who whooped my ass and I still continued it. I still kept going. I pushed on the days that I didn't fucking want to. That aside, if I was to look at all the other benefits, such as it engaging my brain, the community thing, because when you're constantly hugging someone and putting them to the floor, you get pretty close to people. The amazing friends that I've built, this is the best investment I've ever made this year. Now, I've been hard selling you on jiu-jitsu because that's where my love is. But this works with boxing, this works with kickboxing, Muay Thai, Krav Maga, anything, right? The point is, when you step onto an uncomfortable situation that's a physical conquest, if you follow me, you already have some kind of a financial and a mental conquest, as far as, okay, cool, now you're sending outreaches, you're doing sales, you're doing all these things. I don't want your physical conquest to be limited to bodybuilding and powerlifting, because if you're not competing, that's not a conquest. But as far as a one-on-one altercation goes, I believe that if every man is forced to face reality, you will look yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning. You might see the same man, but you will think of him differently. I promise you. In the mirror, you will see a different man with respect. You can tell people anything you want to without having the fear of altercation. You could be put in any social situation and enjoy it because you know that you can handle it. You will start to actively avoid fights and group fights because you will start to see how dangerous it really could be. The average guy on the street is misinformed. He does not have the information as to how fights work. In a group setting, if whether you know boxing, kickboxing, doesn't matter. If two guys hold you in both hands and a guy in front of you kicks you in the face and stomps you, no skill you know matters. You could be Francis Ngannou, doesn't matter. The point is for you to change your self-perception, that it starts to affect you socially, and you cannot do that as a man if you do not have constant physical one-on-one combat with another person. If there's one thing I want you to do next year that I truly believe will change your life, you need to learn to fight another human being one-on-one without any weapons, and do that every single week. Not really hard, but just systematically. That's it.